I was just watching my video from this morning about doormat. I was really impressed. Sometimes I rewatch my videos when I get in the zone. I just like get locked in. I just speak so freely, because it's coming just so. I just want people to understand on both sides, on all sides of the spectrum. I just want people to understand. Even like with watching Candace, like I love Candace. I'm always going to be a Candace stan. I absolutely love her. I've been a fan for her for years. And I know she's coming from a good place. She straight is. And I had this conversation with my hairdresser this afternoon. Like I've lost too many people in my life to catastrophic events. Nothing quite like Charlie's. But my uncle passed away in a car accident that was out of nowhere, and he burned to death. And I was so close to my uncle. I was so close. We just had to, him and my aunt, and both of their passings, But my uncle, that's when really, and my grandparents too. My grandparents was in 2006, so, and then my uncle, yeah. Anyways, there's just, I'm not going to go down that timeline. Believe me. Like, I told my hairdresser, oh, believe me, there's going to be a memoir. There's going to, slow and steady, baby. Slow and steady. But I understand where she's coming from. I do. You seek justice. You seek righteousness. She did not sell her soul. She did not sign the dotted line. She did not take the payouts, and she's been feeling the heat for years upon years. And then to see on the other side all these people that were surrounded by him that did not take that same recourse, just imagine how that's being received for her. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I get it. And so I understand where she's coming from. But for me, because I've walked through so many different things and so many similarities, so many patterns that I can combine the two and see, because I know, because I'm such an observer when it comes to the reality of how I see the way that the system works, the way that the show works, the way that the game works, the way that people get locked in invisible chains. They get blackmailed, they get threatened, they get pushed in this hole to believe XYZ. They're provided falsified evidence, and they move and operate in these certain areas because they move in fear. And so I see that. And like when it comes to like the cop and the FBI, and it's like, because I've seen that in my own family. And I've seen that in my community. And I've seen that in my government. I've been at this for years. So I've seen a lot. And I have a strong understanding of a lot of different things. And so when I look at things, I see things very differently. But I understand where she's coming from, and I'm blessed that she's out here putting it out here into the world, because people need to wake up to this. They need to see it for what it is. When we wake up to a world that we can't even trust our law enforcement on that scale, we can't even trust our military, we can't even trust the government, which, yeah, that's all. Okay, yeah, the government is on it. Like, to me, politicians, they're on a different spell. When you tap into police officers and military, that's a no holds bar. We should not expect corruption. We should not expect scapegoats. We should not expect fall boys. We should not expect a brotherhood. We should expect integrity, honorability, people that uphold the oath. That's what you signed to get in. And so the fact that we're like politicians, yeah, hello, we can go back decades for decades. But on that lens, I just see it so differently on that. And so it's different. And I know this video is kind of going this way, but the way that I see it when it comes to doormat, because for me, like, I just see so clearly now, like I've connected so many dots in reference to like my divine plan that God's like set forth for me to like see the big picture, that had I not walked through all these grievances, had I not walked through all these trials and tribulations, had I not walked through all these betrayals, all these pains, all these hurts, everything that I have walked through, I wouldn't have waken up to the things that I have woken up to within myself. Because at the end of the day, for me and my battle and what I face on a daily basis, it's never exterior. It's always me been battling me based off the exterior world that I found around me. Now, MK Ultra, all this stuff. Yeah. I'm sure that all plays a part. Masonaries, all that. Oh yeah, without a doubt. But I cast that aside. That doesn't even get any particles of my thought process. Because although they classify them in their group, they think they have the power and they're playing these different roles. God is always using the divine, the higher power. They're always using everything in your life for the greater good. The greater good. And once you tap into that, you see that. You see that. And so everything throughout your day is like a light bulb. You're like a light bulb. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going through this hurdle. Okay, I see that. Oh, I'm going through this issue right now to gain some humility from. Okay, I see that. Oh, I'm gaining this. Okay, so I see that. I see that. I see that. And you see things so differently. You know, like I told my hairdresser, like to me, I find it, again, to each their own on this. But there are so many people in this world right now that are struggling to make ends meet. Struggling. We have mothers and fathers working 2, 3, 4 jobs to make sure that they can afford the lifestyle or take care of their babies. And then we have people that have 6, 7, 8 figures. Make that make sense. And again, I know people work very hard for their money. I'm not chastising that. I agree. I work hard for my money too. But what I'm saying is we have to figure out a balance there. We have to figure out a happy balance, because the balancing of the scales is not aligning. It's not aligning. We have to either bring the economy lower, or people need to start giving back in the righteous way. And that's not happening. And there's so many people that classify themselves as faithful, devout, all of this stuff, things. And that's great. But how do you sleep easy at night knowing that there's people that don't? And okay, yeah, you can say, oh, this or that or whatever. But how do you know their full story? You don't. You don't. And so it's like that when you cross over to the bridge of like, oh, well, they're there because of things they did, or they're not trying hard enough, and they're not doing that. That's your ego. That's your ego coming in and telling you your lifestyle is conducive and it's righteous when your consciousness is telling you it's not. Otherwise, you wouldn't be going there with the excuses. And that's just the raw truth. I know that's going to be a lot, like, again, I know I carry a lot of biased opinions. I understand that. I get that. But it's just something to think about. It's just something to think about. I'm not judging anybody in their lifestyle and where they come from and how they spend, like, none of that. I don't care. I'm very meticulous when it comes to my energy. I know it's expansive, and I'm very meticulous with where I, like, exert it to. I've got that on lock. I do indeed. So I don't. How people want to dance in their ego and live their lifestyle and take their influence and do all this stuff, that's on their angle. I don't worry myself with that. That's all God. God's got that. God's 100% got that. But different things that I say, I want to help people